Sunlight fractured through the treetops as the baby chimp's tiny silhouette quivered in the golden grass. Somewhere beyond, a pack of hyenas advanced, their snarls weaving a deadly crescendo. Heart pounding, the chimp froze, no kin in sight, only the shrill promise of teeth. Then came the thunder. A golden retriever erupted into view, muscles rippling, fur bristling like a battle flag. Dust billowed, transforming the scene into a swirling arena of life and death. For a frantic heartbeat, predator and protector locked in a gravity of stares. And then, a single earth-shattering bark shattered the savagery's rhythm, tipping the scales. The forest held its breath at dawn's first light, dew beating like scattered diamonds on verdant leaves. A lone baby chimp tiptoed along a sun-dappled path, nostrils flaring at the scent of ripened fruit and damp earth. His wide eyes followed a butterfly, wings painted in iridescent blues, flitting just beyond his reach. Each gleaming flap lured him deeper into the hush, until the chorus of his troop faded into a distant echo. In that sudden silence, the air tasted of anticipation and something darker, a low, ominous note that vibrated through the tall grass. His tiny chest rose and fell in hesitant breaths as he scanned the sea of stalks for escape, realizing too late how far he'd strayed. A rumble whispered through the underbrush before 6 hyenas emerged, stealthy shadows against the sunlit foliage. Their tawny coats blended seamlessly with the grass, spotted haunches twitching, ears pricked with predatory focus. Each step they took was a measured promise of violence, claws clicking on broken twigs like skeletal fingers drumming a sinister rhythm. The smallest chimpanzee's knees buckled as they closed in, lips curling back to reveal teeth sharpened by 1,000 hunts. He staggered backward, fingertips brushing cold blades of grass, heart hammering like a tribal drum. There was nowhere to run, only the encroaching circle of gleaming eyes and the taste of fear on his tongue. Suddenly, a rich gust of wind bore a different scent, warm, familiar, and undeniable. A golden retriever stood at the forest's edge, muscles coiled like springs under his lustrous coat. His eyes scanned the clearing with unwavering focus, as if reading an unwritten contract between life and death. In a heartbeat, memories flickered in his mind. The ranger's gentle hand guiding him through these woods, teaching him to guard the vulnerable, rewarding his loyalty with whispered praise. Bam! He had been trained for this moment, though instinct alone would have driven him onward. With a low, resonant growl, he stepped into the grass, each pawful sending ripples of dust swirling toward the sky. The hyenas hesitated as the dog advanced, a golden sentinel refusing to yield ground. Then, like a crack of thunder, he lunged into their midst, fur bristling, teeth bared in a challenge that shook the air. The pack responded in kind, too lunging forward with lethal speed. The retriever met them head-on, shunting one into a tumble of dirt and stray leaves. Spray of earth hung suspended as he pivoted to intercept the second, landing squarely between predator and prey. The baby chimp let out a shriek, tiny fists clenched, and in that moment the dog's bark sliced through tension like a blade. It echoed off distant trunks, a command so fierce it seemed to warp the light itself. Even the wind paused to listen. When the chaos blurred past, the baby chimp seized his chance. He scrambled up the dog's back, burying face into warm fur, arms tightening until his knuckles whitened. The retriever broke into a gallop, paws drumming a rapid tattoo against mossy stones and twisted roots. Hyenas lunged from either flank, jaws snapping at air, but each time the dog twisted with fluid grace, turning predator away from his rider. His lungs burned, each breath a white plume against the green shadows, yet still he pressed onward. The world narrowed to a tunnel of motion and sound, the chimp's ragged breaths, the thunder of claws on earth, the rustle of wrists and leaves. They burst from the tall grass into a rocky clearing where sunlight streamed in molten beams, turning dust motes into golden motes of hope. The lone hyena leapt, teeth flashing, but the dog shoved it back with a surging charge that sent the creature skidding across smooth stones. Then, as if the forest itself granted mercy, the pack faltered. One by one, their snarls softened into uncertain whimpers before they melted back into cover, leaving only echoes of their threat behind. The retriever slowed to a trot, flank heaving, ears flicking as he checked that no stragglers pursued them. The baby chimp slid down, knees wobbling, hands brushing the dog's trembling flank in gratitude so pure it transcended language. A riverbank gleamed ahead, water weaving silver ribbons between sunlit boulders. There, on the opposite shore, the baby's mother stood, her eyes wide pools of relief and fear, arms outstretched as he tumbled into her embrace. She pressed her newborn against her chest, chattering urgent whispers, her gaze never leaving the retreat. He lingered at the water's edge, coat dampening in ripples that lapped the sand, nostrils flaring at her scent. Though he had no name exchanged, their souls recognized one another as allies forged in crisis. After a long silent communion, her head dipped in a single solemn nod, the world's simplest benediction of thanks. The mother turned, chimp clutched to her heart, and melted into the forest's green embrace. The golden dog watched until foliage closed around them, every muscle coiled in watchful stillness. At last, he exhaled, shoulders sagging as adrenaline drained away. He gazed one last time at the path he'd carved through shadows, then turned, paws whispering against the earth as he vanished into the trees. His departure was as quiet as his arrival was thunderous, leaving behind only the soft echo of that earth-shattering bark. As dusk draped its indigo veil across the canopy, the forest sighed back into slumber. Leaves whispered in the gathering dark, and somewhere, faint as a heartbeat, a single bark trembled through the night, an enduring anthem to courage, loyalty, and the life-saving bond between two unlikely friends. Somewhere deeper in the thicket, the hyenas regrouped. Their hunger remained, but something stronger than instinct had held them back. Something primal. Not fear of injury, but fear of presence. That bark still lingered in their minds, not just as sound but as declaration. They'd faced creatures that fought to survive, but this dog, he'd fought to protect. And there was something terrifying about an animal that wasn't defending itself, but someone else. Meanwhile, the golden retriever trotted silently beneath a curtain of hanging vines, the ground cool beneath his worn paws. His breath had settled, but not his thoughts. The forest, once alive with birdsong, now hummed with reverence, as if even the trees bore witness to his charge. His protector had come when no one else had. Not from his troop, not from his kind, yet the bond felt ancient, as if written into the bones of the earth itself. And still in that same forest where predator and prey chased the rhythms of survival, something had shifted. Somewhere now roamed a golden guardian whose legacy wasn't carved by blood or territory, but by a choice to stand his ground, to shield the defenseless, to run not from danger but into it. Long after he disappeared from sight, the tale would ripple outward. And rangers would hear rustlings of what had transpired. They'd find odd prints near hyena tracks, note the silence where violence had been poised to erupt, and somewhere a child might hear the story beneath stars and wonder what makes a hero. A name, a roar, or perhaps a single earth-shattering bark that split the wild and reminded it that courage needs no applause.